Hello, Dredd here once again. Today's the 27th of October, 2012. Something I've been concerned with for some time that I'd like to question. And by question, I don't mean to challenge anyone's personal decisions or conclusions. It's just something I think would be good for us to think about a little deeper than some of us may. I refer to it often as the end game. Specifically, when we talk about bugging out or heading for the hills, whatever terminology we want to use, what is our end game? What do we really see as being the ultimate outcome, and maybe we could say the optimal outcome. I had to use that word optimal because President Obama's assessment that 4 of our embassy personnel being killed was not optimal. Yeah. Anyway, so what do we see as being the end of this, I guess you could say, self-exile or whatever? What do we see it coming to? We talk about bugging out, or are we just are we anticipating heading for the hills on a temporary basis, maybe for a year or two or whatever, 10 years, until such a time as the nation is back on track and constitutionalism has been restored and all? And yes, I'm being a little facetious, sarcastic, cynical, whatever. I just question what it is, or how long do we think that this is going to last? And if it's our intent that we're going to bug out and go to the hills or whatever until things get better, well, we being the ones who ostensibly have the most concern about things getting better, the Constitution being restored, etc., we being the most concerned, if we're not here, if we don't stay here to effect the restoration, who is it we think's going to do it? It appears to me that all the people who maybe have the courage and whatever else it takes to force change, it appears that we all plan to head for the hills until somebody else does it. And I think that maybe, at least for some of us, maybe we should instead not head for the hills and take up arms if necessary and effect the restoration. Now, I think it's well. I guess I'll have to risk coming off as misogynistic or whatever here, but there are certain realities, and one of those certain realities is that women are much more effective in all of those things involved in raising children. And within that, and certainly with exceptions, it would be well, especially since there would be children amongst us. I don't have any, my child is grown, but for those of us with children, it would be well that we relocate those children along with some people, be it women or men or whatever, to someplace more safe. But again, if for each of us generally, if we intend to bug out and head for the hills and stay out there until things get better, then really I don't think we'll be coming back. Things back here, I think, would only get worse with there being fewer people here to resist the deterioration. And so again, this is meant to hopefully, just encourage people to think about the end game. At a local Tea Party group meeting, it's been a year and a half or so ago, I decided to pose a question there just to see how many people, if any, had entertained any thought of what we're going to do past our political activism, if you will. And the way I did that, I just asked the question of the group if anybody had considered, or if we were considering, that all of our political activism efforts may fail, and in that case, then what is our plan then? Are we going to just give up and say, oh, well, I guess we're not going to persuade our representatives to get the country back on track, so just throw the towel in. Sorry for the notice there. I probably should have done this offline. But and it disrupted my thinking. But when I asked that question, and I did specify, had anybody considered that we may have to take up arms? And one of my favorite quotes along this line, and I never remember which of the founders said it, but It's the tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of tyrants and patriots. I don't think the founders envisioned that whatever they were going to be able to establish was going to last forever without it having to be fought for again with bullets and gunpowder. So in that, and then if we think that there is no circumstance that would ever warrant that, then what do we think the oath to the Constitution, to uphold the Constitution, what do we think that means when it stipulates to all enemies, foreign and domestic? Well, what is a domestic enemy? Yeah, some people would say the Timothy McVeighs and whatever, and yeah, I suppose he was one after a fashion. I won't get into that too far right now, but I think Washington, D.C. is replete with domestic enemies. Anyone who seeks to circumvent the Constitution, negate the Constitution, disallow the freedoms thereof, is a domestic enemy. There's at least one in the White House. So if we're going to uphold the Constitution, then we may be obligated to fight, literally, the forces that are against it. And I'm going to stop this here to make a break. It's going on 15 minutes. I'm going to stop the camera here and start it again just to make a break.